Your Name is one of those once-in-a-decade anime films. It's already made more than Spirited Away, and that's impressive, because Spirited Away was like the highest-grossing anime film since like 2001. So, it made more than that. It's been like 16 years since that film was released in Japan. So now we have Your Name, which has like connected with so many people, and it's connected with me, it's connected with my friends. It's like a very, very good love story, romance story about connections and everything, about time, about like how we perceive each other. It's all of that like wrapped into one really fantastic and beautiful movie. The movie is about this boy Taki and this girl Mitsuha who switch bodies at random times, and they have to deal with each other's lives. They deal with each other's school, each other's work, each other's family, everything, and they have to like try and help each other out going through those lives together. I really don't want to give away too much because I went into this movie very, very blind. I didn't know anything about it other than apparently people really loved it, and I ended up loving it myself. This movie is directed by Makoto Shinkai, who also directed 5 centimeters per second and Garden of Words, which are both very, very beautiful films. There's also a couple of others he's directed, but I haven't seen yet. This film at heart is pretty much a romance, and it's a love story, and it's one of those films that I really like take to heart as far as thinking about missed encounters and like missed chances and everything. And it's something that I think I'll think about for a while. I think it's a lot of something a lot of people will think about for a while once they've seen it. I think it's a film that you need to see twice because there is something that happens in the film that kind of catches you off guard. It caught me off guard for the first time that I saw it. And the second time I saw it in theaters, first time I saw it online because I didn't know if it was actually going to come out here, but eventually it did. And if it is playing near you, please go see it to support it so we can have more stuff out here in the US like that. I do like how in the film it's sort of realistic into what people would do if they are in another person's body, especially of the opposite sex. A lot of things that like guys would do if they were in a girl's body. A lot of things that girls would probably be weirded out by if they were in a boy's body. So it's very realistic in that aspect, and also realistic in how like people would react to how you're acting if you are a completely different person. I saw the movie subbed both times. I thought I was going to see it dubbed the second time, but my theater wasn't playing it dubbed, at least not at the time that I saw it at. And apparently there are some differences in the dub because there are some jokes that don't really translate over well to English. Like there's a joke with the pronoun I, which in Japanese, I is a gender-specific pronoun. So there's a joke with that, and it doesn't really work in English because you just say I, and that's gender neutral. So yeah, there's a joke with that, so it doesn't really work in English. So if you're seeing it dubbed, it'll probably have a completely different joke that they rewrite it for. So subbed, it'll have the original joke, but there are a few differences like that that may be different between the sub and the dub. So that's another reason why you should probably watch it twice. The movie is also very, very beautiful. There's a sequence that reminds me a lot of Summer Wars in how it's sort of like outlined. But everything else in the movie looks very detailed. The backgrounds are fantastic. It has like the same kind of feeling of Garden of Words. Garden of Words is probably more realistic looking because that's the most realistic 2D animation I've ever seen for anime. But this still looks fantastic. Some of the best looking anime by far. And the main characters are very likable. The audience was actually sort of like cheering on the characters to do what they had to do. There was actually a guy sitting beside my friend that was sort of like cheering on one of the characters once they fell down. So it's that kind of movie where the audience did really get into it. And I guess that's why I can understand that it made so much money over in Japan, because like people were like really into this movie, even though it was like a subbed Japanese anime. I haven't really seen that many people in a theater cheer on the characters before. There's not too much else I want to say about the movie because I don't want to spoil it for you because it is a really fantastic movie, and that moment when it sort of takes that turn and surprises you, I don't want to spoil it for you, so just go see it yourself. I know it's still playing in like AMC theaters and other theaters, so check your local listings to see if there's any theaters playing near you, Your Name, whether subbed or dubbed. I probably recommend sub just because of that the thing with certain jokes that might not translate over well. But I heard the dub was fine, so if you want to go see the dub rather than the sub, that would be just fine. So if you've seen Your Name, tell me down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to take